Here are 15 of the best Ask Reddit stories for today. I hope you enjoy and remember to subscribe. It really helps us out. We post new videos every day.
Was your "this person is on another level" of stupid moment? This was my first experience in retail where I learned what many customers would be like. Seasons were changing, so we put a lot of shirts we had to get rid of in the front and made them 50% off. I was working the register when a woman came up to buy her things. I rang her up and could see a look on her face like something was wrong. That's when the following happened. "Lady, why is this so much?" "Me? Pardon me, lady. This should only be $10, not $20. I thought that maybe her item was on sale, so I asked if she could point out the sign because I wasn't aware of it. It was a small store and we didn't have to walk anywhere. "Lady, this sign here." "Me. This sign says that all shirts are 50% off." "Lady, yes, so why is this full price?" "Me. This is a hat."
Today my girlfriend of 8 years, who I was about to propose to, told me the truth. Some backstory. Me, 25M, and my girlfriend, Adriana, 24F, have been dating since we were 16 and 17. We met in high school and loved each other ever since. Well, the other day I set up a fancy dinner for us, and I was ready to propose to her, the love of my life. Just as I took her to the hotel room filled with roses and got on my knees and pulled out the box, she stopped me. She then said, "No, I can't marry you, Jimmy, I'm sorry. I have to tell you the truth." Everything went blank for me at that moment. I was shocked, scared, and heartbroken. She told me how she was still in love with her best friend, Ryan, 24M, and that he will always be her first love. They met way before we met, they grew up with each other, they dated multiple times but always broke up because of mutual issues. I met Ryan, I welcomed him since they were still best friends. Just to come to find out, just about all 8 years of our relationship she has loved him. Has compared me to him. And has been sleeping with him. She told me they had a plan that was Ryan would leave his girlfriend and she would leave me with no explanation, and they would move to Florida and finally be together. I'm heartbroken. She moved out of our apartment together and moved in with him until they moved down to Florida. Turns out she's 5 weeks pregnant with his baby too. I'm not mad. I just wish I wasn't played out like a fool. I hope they live happily together. Think I've destroyed my marriage. My wife refuses to see me or speak to me. I'm not even allowed to know where she is. I don't know if this goes here or not, but I made a friend, let's call him David, at the gym. We got on well and the friendship started to translate outside of just being gym buddies. We regularly hung out after work or after the gym, and it was nice having a friend I could spend time with. Almost 3 weeks ago I invited him over to my house to have dinner with me and my wife. My wife and I cooked dinner, and at some point her sister-in-law called asking if her 3-year-old son left his alligator socks at our house as he refuses to breathe until he gets it back, and he did leave it at ours. So my wife decided to drop it off. While my wife was away, David arrived. All was going well until my wife got back home and saw David. She just suddenly started screaming, and I mean she was letting out some blood-curdling screams. She was just shouting for David to get out and waving a blade around. David left and I tried to ask her what happened, but she honestly couldn't talk, as it seems like she was having a stroke or a heart attack. So I called for an ambulance and she was admitted at the hospital for having a severe panic attack. She was hospitalized for 3 days and she did not speak the entire time to literally anyone. On her release date she just left and no one would tell me where she was. I've called everyone we know and no one will speak to me or tell me where she is. Then finally her sister texted me a long text that was full of expletives, but it did explain what I did wrong. David was the man who took her hostage for 9 days when she was 12 and then stalked her for 7 years until he went to prison for another crime. He was never punished for SA or for holding her hostage. I mean, my jaw fell to the ground. I knew all about this as she had told me about it from the beginning. I just don't know how I didn't recognize him. I don't know how to fix this. She just refuses to see me, speak to me, and I don't even know where she is now.
Well shit, lucky me. Are you actually a mascot? Yeah, lol, I'm the eagle. That's really cool, lol. I don't know anyone else who's a mascot. Yeah, well, it's pretty neat. We're not supposed to tell people though. And a lot of people ask, who is the eagle? Because they don't know. But no one asks, how is the eagle? And it gets to you sometimes. Oh man. Well, how's the eagle? Horny.
Apparently booking a seat on a train is not a real booking if someone else decides to sit there. I was traveling from Edinburgh to London by train and had a booked window seat with a table. I got on the train to find 4 guys sitting at the table. The one in my seat that was clearly marked as booked refused to move as he was with his friends and the train was packed. The ticket collector passed and I asked him to help. He asked the guy to move but he refused, and somehow that was that. So what now? I asked. You can find another seat, but I have no power to move him. Only the police can move him, and they will not turn up just to move someone out of a seat. There were no seats free in the carriage and probably not many free on the train, so standing to London was a possibility. I'm going to take a seat in first class, better surroundings, power sockets and free tea and coffee. You can't sit there, you don't have a booking. Well, You could call the police to move me, but apparently they won't turn out to move someone out of a seat. I had a lovely trip with power for my laptop and a wide comfy seat. It gets to feel like a kid again instead of being seen as creepy. I live in an apartment complex that has a bunch of little kids. During the original lockdowns I would go outside to walk around and get out, and one day one of the kids launched a soccer ball my direction, and without thinking I headed the ball back to them and they said something like, "Whoa. Do it again. Do it again." And I was hesitant at first because I'm bald 31-year-old with a large beard playing with a bunch of little kids. I told them I'm not sure if your parents would want you playing with a stranger, but you guys have fun. I didn't realize their mom was sitting inside with the window open watching them, and I hear her yell, "Please kick the ball around with them if you want to. I know you live across the hall, I see you all the time." I proceeded to play soccer with them for about 2 hours and had a blast. Now every Friday without fail a group of kids knock on my door at 6 p.m. because they know I'm off work and want me to play some kind of game with them. We played freeze tag last Friday, it was dope. I cheated and climbed a tree so they couldn't get me. Makes me feel like a kid again, and it truly is a highlight to my week. The mom also brings me fresh homemade tamales at least every 2 weeks and refuses to let me pay for them.
What is the weirdest thing your girlfriend does? Part 3. She sniffs me like an airport security dog when we hug or cuddle. She says she loves my smell, and I find it really cute. My GF has never farted in front of me, so every time she needs to fart she'll giddily announce it and laugh as I try so hard to make her fart by tickling her and by pressing down on her stomach. I still have not heard her fart once. She licks the inside of my ear. I kinda like it though. When I'm driving I put my hand on the gear stick instinctively. My GF will always put her hand on top of mine and ask if she can change the gears for me. This involves me telling her which gear to change to and when. Lol. Every time. She tries to poke me up my ass when I'm walking up the stairs. She has me lie on top of her and basically plank. I guess it simulates crushing her or something. I don't understand it. She talks in her sleep. Not just the occasional word or two, but like we will have a full-blown conversation. Last time we talked about the giant ass blankets that is also known as duvets. She likes to tape fake eyelashes on my laptop touchpad or my phone to freak me out. My girlfriend really likes to try and lick me without me noticing, because once at the very beginning of our relationship I got away with licking her on her cheek and she didn't notice. She is not subtle. She never succeeds. It hasn't stopped her trying. She puts flaming hot Cheetos in a cup and eats them with chopsticks while sitting on the floor. She uses my belly for heat. It's not a heater. Belly heater. After yawning, she will pick up a tear and put it on my lips.
Keeps asking me to buy them food when they make more than me. Can you order me some pizza to my job? Sure? Wait, really? Yeah, I'm feeling nice today. You're the best. Can I get a large chicken bacon ranch please? You a real one. SMH. Alright, I got you. It should be on its way now. I hope you know you're a loser. How dare you do that? I didn't do anything? What are you talking about? Oh, so we playing dumb now? Oh, okay, let me refresh your mind. I find it funny how you think it's okay to order me pizza and have me pay for it.
Tried to warn a girl at my gym. I tried to warn a girl at my gym that had period stains on the back of her shorts, and she went on a rant, saying that she was working out and I'm trying to make fun of me in front of everyone for being weird. So I announced to the entire gym that she was staining the equipment with her period blood and that she needed to wash and clean herself immediately. I have never seen her since. I know it was probably really petty, and I got a lot of stick from people for doing that, but honestly? Try being humble enough to listen before making a public scene. Effing drama queens. The most significant you just effed with the wrong person moment you've witnessed or experienced. I lost it at a Subway a while back. This story isn't about me losing it at a person myself, but I found someone who could and did. The Subway I go to is inside a skating rink, and on this day it was flooded with newly pubescent boys thinking that treating people like absolute horseshit is how you act like a macho man. One girl behind the counter was near tears, and the other woman was trying to hold her own ground against a bunch of 13-year-olds. It was, "You fucking bitch, I didn't fucking ask for mayo. Are you blind? For fuck's sake, that's not toasted enough. When I get a job, I'm gonna be making more than you." Just a taste of some of what I heard. So I went out to the lobby of the skating rink, found a woman nearby and asked her if she was with the boys in Subway, which she was, and then I told her to follow me. The look on the boys' faces when she let out her angered screech after listening to them was friggin' priceless. She made the boys pay for their own food. One boy didn't get to finish making his sandwich. "Wrap it up how it is and he'll pay for it." And from what I gathered as she practically dragged them out of there was the boys who weren't hers. She was going to speak to their parents, followed by strong protests as she told them to pack their crap. As she was taking them home early, I left the girls at Subway a nice tip, and they gave me a cookie. Never fuck with an angry mom. Acceptable lies you can tell to your kids. The sound of vacuuming really annoys me, so when my daughter's mad at me she vacuums. We told our son that his ears turned red when he lied. For years he would try to cover his ears if he was lying. It was usually pretty obvious but still nice. My son used to only eat Pink Key West shrimp. He wouldn't eat any other shrimp. Then one day he started asking if these were the shrimp he liked. I had cooked Gulf shrimp, and that's when the lies started. When I was 3 I was told that eating the crusts of my sandwiches would enhance my toe wiggling abilities. So I ate my whole sandwich and then sat on the couch and wiggled my toes. End result, fully nourished kid. If I had kids I'd borrow that lie for sure. Curious, people who have been on the deep web, what's the scariest thing you've found? My own password. Found a chan that had a link to a website that when you put in an email address, it would show you the password in plain text if that email address had been pwned. Typed in one of my old, now closed, emails, and there it was. Just a blank page with my email address and password on it, sitting right there for anybody to find. I remember a long time ago there was a guy online that was trying to buy large quantities of bed bugs. When questioned why he wanted them, he basically said that he wanted to try to breed them to be resistant to normal methods of killing them while simultaneously breeding in a weakness that only he knew. This way he could release them in people's houses and then force them to pay him to get rid of the bed bugs since no one else would be able to kill them. A friend of mine claims he was snooping around where he didn't belong, black market forums and hacking forums, when someone private messaged him basically saying, "I've looked into you because I see you in here a lot and I know you're not here to buy or use the services because you're just a kid. I don't mind but others will and you haven't protected yourself well enough to be here. Get off if you know what's good for you."
What are some of your unpopular opinions? Middle-aged guys don't buy sports cars because they're having a midlife crisis, it's because they can finally afford the car they want. Men's mental health is a joke to everyone and it's really disheartening as a mom to 2 boys. Most soldiers do not fight for our rights but rather fight for money, a career, or by compulsion from a draft. We don't need free college, we need to acknowledge the fact that the majority of jobs asking for a degree right now don't actually require one to do the job effectively. Being a single dad with half custody is just as hard as being a single mom, but I don't have a rally cry of support behind me. Even if schools taught you how to do taxes or other life skills, not many of you would pay attention. 99% of the time, if your kid cuts you off immediately when they turn 18, then it's completely your fault. You can't beat cancer by fighting hard, and the concept that you can is offensive to people who die from it.
The weirdest thing a woman has told you means you're not a real man. I overheard a conversation between 2 girls in my class. One said her ex wasn't a real man because he started crying when she broke up with him. To make it even worse, the male teacher agreed. My first wife told me that I wasn't a real man because I wouldn't hit her. Couldn't get out of that marriage fast enough. Thankfully we didn't have kids, so I never saw or heard from her again. Had a double knee injury. On the drive home from the hospital, she said, "I can't depend on you to be my man if you can't walk." Well, newsflash. That's the worst thing to ever say to another human being that is in pain. One super nice woman informed me that if my flaccid pickle couldn't helicopter, I wasn't a real man. Pickle size shaming and harassment are super fucked up. I have big hands, so when I'm forced to hold a small cup by the handle I put my pinky finger out so my hand doesn't cramp up from smashing all my fingers in there to hold it. My wife says in disgust that it makes me look girly. I always respond, "If you care so much then get me a bigger cup." Had a woman over for a home-cooked dinner. She asked who cleans my house and how much they cost as I started to make dinner. I told her I don't pay someone to clean my house, I just always pick up after myself. She told me real men don't clean or cook. Didn't even make it to dinner before I asked her to leave. She started freaking out and saying shit like, "You know it's the 2020s now, it's okay to just come out of the closet and get yourself some dick all because I keep a clean house." People are fucking insane.
Your own spot, car, and job? Sorry for the interrogation, lol. I'm just not into dating losers, I'm sure you can understand. I definitely understand, and absolutely. I bought a house a while back, my dad helped me out a lot, but yeah, I have a house, I have a full-time job and 2 cars, lol. One for strictly work, one for pleasure. Sounds like you got it going for you. Thanks, love. So how about you? How about me? What? Car? Crib? Job? Why would I need one?